Do you want to be able to do this? And this? And without forgetting this? Yep, with this build, you'll be able to pretty much one-shot everyone. This is my Big Daddy Kratos build. It's called the One-Shot Wonder. Thank you very much for everyone that subscribed lately. 111 new subscribers as of 2 weeks ago. Very, very, very grateful for you guys. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe if you want to get a chance also to get, a copy of Ragnarok and Destiny Lightfall contest in the actual commentary. On that note, enjoy. This is a pretty risky build, but it's high risk, high reward. We are going to get a lot of strength, and we're going to utilize a lot of different components in different builds to be able to create this destructive machine that Kratos becomes with this. We're going to use relics, relic cooldowns. We're going to use a lot of CDR, a lot of strength, and we're going to go bananas with everything that's damaged. Also, with this build, you'll pretty much be able to take half of Gna and the Berserker King's health before the fight even really begins. Like in the footage you can see right now, we can basically bully any boss in the game. All the footage is done on the No Mercy difficulty. So, the build. We are going to stack strength. By that, we're going to take on the weapons the most strength-based pommels. For the Leviathan axe is going to be the Furious Maul with 63 stat of strength. Then the Deadly Obsidian handles for the Chaos Blades with also a 63. But for the spear, we're going to go with the Hind of 9 Realms, which is going to give us basically a time shift. Very good for repositioning and outbursting some damage. For the shield, we're going with the Dauntless Shield for fast double L1 attacks, and the Round of Purification for the strength stat. On the Spartan Rage side, we're going to use Valor because of the melee attack bonus that we're going to be able to actually get from the actual health burst. And on top of that, we're going to combine it with the Boon of Valor that's going to give us another strength bonus. Ba-bam! And then the bread and butter, the relic. We're going to go with the Hilt of Trifing. I love this, especially because we're using the Berserker's Plate, which every time we got to use a relic, it's going to give us a substantial damage buff. And then we're going to be able also to get a lot of more damage if we receive them. So that's why it's very high risk, high reward. But this is wonderful because the actual buff that you get from the Berserker's proc is 17 seconds of the buff. This relic has a 23 seconds cooldown. You know where I'm going with this. Yes, sir, we're going to try to get a uptime of 100% with it, because every time we hit with the Berserker's waist guards or the Berserker's gauntlets, we get relic cooldown. This is very important because we're going to be hitting a lot and we're going to have a good uptime on the actual hilt. That means we're going to have a lot of damage all the time. But it's not done, because we're also using the Seal of Runic Storm, my baby, my Bifrost banger. That's the bread and butter also of this build, because we're gonna use it in conjunction with the other buffs. So that's why this build is so freaking powerful. It stacks so many things at the same time. At one point in the actual screen, you can see that you have 4 or 5 different buffs active at the same time. It's completely ridiculous. We are using the Asgard's and Vanaheim's enchantments in the amulet for the melee damage increase on status affected enemies and the actual power up on our triangle attacks with the blade. Those who doesn't know how to do it, I have a video right here with a link. It's super intuitive, super easy, and it's the best attack in the game. Point bar. We're using the Vanaheim's set because we're also going to use Freya's poison attack, which is one of the best in the game because it actually debuffs anyone. A boss, a major, any actual enemy in the game is gonna lose 1 or 2 levels, which is completely bonkers. For the armor, as we said earlier, we're gonna use the Berserker's chest, we're gonna use the Berserker gauntlets, for the soul explosion, dealing damage and restoring cooldowns for the relic. This is very good because we're gonna have such a big uptime on our relic. That means we're gonna have such a big uptime also on our soulless warrior buff, which is completely bunkers for the damage. And lastly, for the waist armor, we are using Vidar's waist guard. This is one of the best strength stat, and that's why we're using it. We are an overall of a 508 strength, and we are completely decimating it. Now, I'm not even level 9 because some of my items aren't fully upgraded. The Rond, I think, is not, and I'm still capable of completely destroying level 7 bosses. Vidar's Belt of Might also gives us a 10% damage boost on our combo finishers, and with everything that we are wearing, we get also about 100 vitality. So it gives you the opportunity, if you want to put the Crest of Desperate Heroics, that basically prevents you from dying for about 4 or 5 seconds if your health drops to a critical level very quickly. And there you have it. This is the full build. This will be able to basically destroy everything in the game. It's very high risk, so don't get caught. If you get caught, you're probably gonna die because of the debuff you get with the Soulless Warrior. That means the Berserker's relic activation. If you do get hit, like I said, you're probably gonna die, but if you have the Crest of Desperate Heroics, maybe it's gonna be able to also help you out and mitigate a little bit of damage before dying. Now for the fun part. What you really want to do is to have Storm of Bifrost, Soulless Warrior, and Valorous Bloodthirst active at the same time for exponential damage on bosses. Like you see on Gna here right now, I've basically taken half of her health, in one combo. And when all of the 3 are active, you have to use the technique of double tap L1, shield bash, and then instantly use the immolation on the blades by clicking triangle at the right moment. You can use that in succession, so it's a really good one. It staggers, it does a lot of damage. It's the best technique in the game right now, and using also Freya's Hex Arrows will help you get just that tiny bit of more damage that you need to be able to get the maximum amount of outburst you need. If you do have any questions about how this works, how to do it, how to successfully chain your abilities, please let me know in the comments. I'll definitely help you out. If not, enjoy the show because this is the best and the most fun build in the game right now.